This program was developed by Austin Pets Alive's Successful Barn Cat program, located in Austin, Texas. For more information directly regarding their program, please view the video, A Model Program, Austin Pets Alive Barn Cat Program.
What does it take to simply get a community cat relocation program started? What supplies do you need? In this section, we will give you some recommendations on the basics for getting a community cat relocation program started. You have noticed that there is an inflow of community cats coming into shelters in your area with no option of being returned to their original environment and no place to go. The first step in helping these cats through a relocation program would be to convince your board or the decision makers in your organization to be supportive of a relocation program for community cats. Relocation programs are great programs for any shelter or rescue organization. Here are some reasons why that is. The first and foremost reason to start up a relocation program is that these cats' lives matter too. Just because community cats aren't someone's pet doesn't mean that they don't deserve our time and effort as well. The second reason is that even though there is often a belief that there aren't a lot of homes for community cats, this simply is not true. Community cat relocation programs around the country have shown that there is a great market for community cats. Some of these programs often have waiting lists when demand exceeds supply. The third reason is that relocation programs usually garner a huge amount of community support. The public can easily see and understand the value in these types of programs. Community cat relocation programs are often media darlings. Never a bad thing for any animal rescue organization. Last, but certainly not least, hosting a relocation program is most likely going to be one of the least expensive programs in your organization, and will actually save it money in the long run. With these types of programs, you get a lot of bang for your buck, and boards love to hear that. In conclusion, community cat relocation programs are the ultimate trifecta: low investment, huge life-saving impact, and the community loves it. Once you convince your board that a community cat relocation program is a good decision, you will need to start gathering supplies to run the program. There are not many supplies involved in this type of program. To get us started, and if you are going to be involved in the trapping of community cats, and it's also a good idea to have a couple on hand even if you are not, are Humane live animal traps. There are several different types out there. Make sure to do your research before determining which trap works best for you. These traps are great ways to capture community cats with as little stress as possible. In addition, they make it easier to anesthetize cats who do not welcome human contact for the spay-neuter surgery. Moving on to the next supply, these feral cat dens are highly recommended for each cat currently being housed in a traditional shelter condo. They can be used to help with transport, transferring from one enclosure to another, and can fit into most housing types with ease to provide the cat with a safe hidey hole area. Because of how the feral cat den is designed, it is often less stressful on the cat and much safer for staff and volunteer members when working around the cats. If these dens are not within your budget, you can substitute small cat crates or cardboard boxes placed on their side instead. Use a reaching stick or device to open and close the crate door or cardboard lid. Different types of crates or varying different sizes are handy to have available in all kinds of ways. Larger dog crates can be used for primary housing of the cat while he is in your program. Smaller crates can be used to help with transport. Both plastic and wire crates will work. However, if using a wire crate, we suggest placing some kind of blanket or towel over the crate to provide the cat with visual security, making the process less stressful for her. These nets are also highly recommended and are very useful for capturing cats from an open enclosure, but also handy if a cat escapes while inside a shelter. While feral cat nets are recommended, you can also substitute with fishing nets. Just make sure to avoid anything that has rough nylon mesh, which can injure cats and are easier to escape from. Look for a mesh net with cinch capabilities. Bite-resistant gloves should be mandatory for your program. While the aim is to handle the cats as little as possible, there will be times you might have to handle them or things around them. When these times arise, you should always have protective gloves on. The gloves should allow you to maintain a good amount of dexterity. However, they should also have a Kevlar sleeve up to the elbow and a leather hand, or some other bite-resistant material. Welding gloves can be used for a more budget-friendly option. The problem with welding gloves is they do often compromise your dexterity. Just like with any cat program, litter boxes are a must. These can range from your standard litter box to a budget-friendly option of dish pans from the local dollar store. Like litter boxes, some kind of food and water dish is required. You won't need anything fancy. The simple and cheap plastic side-by-side dishes work well. However, things as simple as older Tupperware containers will work just fine. While the cats are in your care, they will obviously need to be fed. Most shelters have a preferred brand that they use that seems to work best for the majority of cats. It is recommended that this brand be used for the cats that are in the relocation program, with consideration for some cats who may have special dietary needs. If you have been involved with animal rescue for any amount of time, you will probably recognize the need for old sheets, towels, and blankets. They can be used for anything from bedding to cleaning. An old towel, sheet, or blanket works well as a soft place for a cat to rest, as well as something to throw over a cage to provide a cat with visual security, which minimizes stress. Snuggle Safe Discs are nice to have, but are certainly not mandatory. They can help when a cat needs a little extra warmth during a cold winter night. This is typically not required for cats who have some kind of shelter from the elements or a companion to stay warm with. Most every shelter or rescue owns a microchip scanner of some sort. You should always scan cats that are coming in to make sure they are actually not owned or affiliated with someone or an organization you can call. While most any scanner will work, there are certain types of scanners, such as the Datton Moore's microchip scanner pictured here, that make scanning under-socialized cats much less stressful and safer, as they have the ability to scan through plastic containers. Finally, when starting up a community cat relocation program, housing should be considered. The aim is to have the cats in your program for as short an amount of time as possible. That being said, you should have housing set up for both short-term and longer-term residents. Housing can come in the form of many different options. Some indoor options could be as simple as a cage at a local shelter. While not ideal due to the amount of stress the activities at a shelter usually causes these cats, it can be mitigated by housing them in a separate room with the least amount of noise and traffic possible. In addition, covering the front of the cages will provide the cats with visual security, thereby reducing stress. They can also be housed in a separate building if that is possible, either in similar types of cages or in larger dog crates. Outdoor options should also be considered, as these cats most likely comfortable with being outdoors, and that is also where they will be relocated to. Shelter options can be as simple as a chicken coop or an enclosure built or bought for the purpose. For more information on different housing examples, please view our section on low-stress shelter housing.